G'day everyone. Well, I've got my credit card ready. Got flowers on order for Kerry. I'm trying to research whether I'll get a hotel stay for her or a holiday or something like that because apparently we're going to get a new camera. Now, I just noticed today on Sonyalpharumors that they've posted about a new camera that's been listed in Asia. Let me just bring up the site. So they're saying they've registered a new unannounced camera in Asia, and it's Sony's first 5.8 gigahertz wireless LAN capable camera. So that's interesting in itself. But there's a whole stack of stuff here which you can have a look at if you want to. The number you can research if you want to research the number as well. It just says down here that nice surprise, folks. Sony registered a new camera code. In Asia, this means we can expect a new camera to be announced between now and 1 to 2 months. So there's two ways that we can look at this. Usually when they announce a camera like this, it is announced basically like a few days before and then it's announced straight away. But the worrying aspect with this one is if it is a wireless, if it has got the wireless component in which it says it has, I know they've got to be registered a long time, a couple of months sometimes before they can be released in the wild, because different countries have different rules regarding these Wi-Fi wireless things that are in these cameras or any product. So that could be meaning that we might have to wait a couple of months before this could be announced due to them getting the approval for that wireless bandwidth that they'll be using. But let me just come back to this in here. So it says announced now and a maximum of 1 to 2 months. You will also notice from the image at the top that this will be Sony's first 5.8 gigahertz wireless LAN capable camera. We have no info yet if it's an E-mount or RX camera, but it's a 5.8 gigahertz capable. It's 5.8 gigahertz capable, and I bet it's a high-end model. It would allow fast file transfer, maybe ideal for something like an a9ii. Now, the interesting thing is, I can't believe that Sony would release another RX camera. I think that would be very, well, look, I would say unwise in the fact that that is a shrinking market. It's a dying market. So I couldn't picture them releasing another high-end model before they release something in the A9 or the A7 series or even the A7000 series of cameras. So I don't think it'll be an RX camera. I think this is probably going to be an A9 II, looking at the wireless component that this camera has. I can't see it being anything else than that. It could be that it's an A7000, a high-end APS-C camera that would have that in it as well, because sports shooters may use that as well, and wildlife shooters and things like that. But if you're dealing with Wi-Fi, it's more than likely going to be built in for sports. Now, with the Olympics coming up next year, it makes more sense with that. I mean, if you look at the A9, it has got a port built into it. Let me just see if I can open this. I've got no nails. It does have a LAN port built in, and that's what this port is here. Let me just move that out of the way. That's what that port is there. So, it does make sense that you'd have the ability to shoot wirelessly, or you could obviously use a LAN as well if you wanted to go that way. I mean, I still think if it's a serious shooter, they probably would go LAN due to the fact that they're not going to want to miss a moment with having Wi-Fi problems and things like that. But anyway, it sort of makes more sense that that's what that would be. So if it is a new A9, what could they possibly put in an A9 camera that would make you want to jump? Because the A9 at the moment is just outstanding and it is incredible, and we're still going to get another update in the summer for that alone. So what could they put in that camera to make us sort of want to jump and get that new camera? Well, there's a couple of things that I think they could do. It could be slightly higher in frames per second, like we might get 24. I don't think we're going to get any more than that, but it might be, say, 24 frames per second, which could be a difference. It also gives you the ability to have that video format straight away if you wanted to shoot RAW, and you'd have video there alone. I still think there's a possibility they may put a global shutter in this camera due to the fact that they will want to have zero rolling shutter for shooting in such high frame rates. So that could also be a big possibility. I'm also thinking it probably will do 4K at a higher bit rate. I think they still will put some video components into this camera. I don't think it's going to be an A7S III, but they still will probably give us unlimited recording, for instance. We'd have to say get better dual card slots in that camera. Now, whether they go QXD or some other system, well, I'm not sure, but I think you'll definitely be faster cards in the camera to get that, that number of images off very, very quickly. So that's another thing they could change. And I've got a feeling the body is also going to change. If they do use sort of higher bit depths in the 4K, like if we got 4K 60, for instance, I think we're going to get a larger body, and it may potentially have a battery grip already built in. It may come like that, so it won't be movable. Remember, you're dealing here in a sports camera, and if you're looking at cameras like the Nikon D4S or the Canon version of that, they're very, very large cameras. So I've got a feeling that the A9 may be they may have to produce a slightly larger body. So it's really interesting which way this may go. They may do ridiculous things, like, I was just seeing Oreo was commenting on my photography and videography skills, saying possibly SSD internal. I'm still waiting for a camera manufacturer to do that, one of the mainstream cameras. It would be an amazing thing to have, and then you could obviously have a card as a backup to that as well. We just don't know what's going to happen. But I've got a feeling if this is an A9 II, Sony have to really give you something outstanding to make people upgrade from what they already have, due to the fact that the A9 at the moment is an incredible camera. So I'd love to know your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think they'd have to add to basically dethrone the A9, because, like I said, it's such an amazing camera. And do you think it's an A9 II, or do you think it's an RX camera? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all soon for another video. Bye for now.